Howdy all you Starfinders out there, I'm David, the Digital Dungeon Master, and in this particular video, we are going to be taking a look at the Elf Legacy race from the Starfinder core rulebook. Elves are easily recognized by their pointed ears and pupils so large that their eyes seem to be all one color. Possessed of an inherent bond with the natural world, they tend to take on the coloration of their surroundings over the course of many years and have a deep spiritual regard for nature. Of all the races common to the solar system, elves were perhaps the hardest hit by the gap and the slowest to adapt and recover. Where shorter-lived races quickly gave birth to children who had never known any other way of life, the elven generations whose lives extended back into the gap continued on, broken and confused by the blank centuries and their own lives and memories. Reeling and angry, elves from across the system retreated to their ancestral homeland of Castrovel and dug in, determined to never again be caught unprepared by disaster. Even this was a fraught endeavor, though, as many of the established elven families already on Castrovel resented the chaos and upheaval caused by the sudden flood of refugees. Today, the elves are a reclusive, xenophobic race, little understood by their neighbors and uninclined to remedy the situation. Though their starships still travel the void, they largely carry all elven crews, and most elves choose to live among their own kind, either on Castrovel or on predominantly elven enclaves across the Pact Worlds. Within their borders, elves tend to be whimsical and passionate, yet when dealing with outsiders, their laughter disappears quickly and is replaced by a cold, unyielding wall. Elven warriors and diplomats operating outside of Castrovel on government business sometimes even choose to go masked, hiding their identities around the other races in order to better represent a united elven state. While elves have embraced technology and the security it brings, they also maintain a deep affinity for magic, seeing in its practice a continuity from their ancestry. Elves are most often mystics, operatives, and technomancers, and when they go adventuring, it's often to recover bits of magical lore lost to history, or else to find ways to ensure that the elven race will be strong in the centuries to come. The primary exception to all of these tendencies are the drow, purple-skinned elves who reject the company of their brethren to live on Aposte and mine alien tech from that world's interior, making them some of the most feared and respected arms dealers in the system. Most elves stand between 5.5 and 6.5 feet tall and weigh around 100 to 150 pounds. They're considered adults at around the age of 100 and naturally live up to around 750 years of age. So what kind of ability score bonuses are you going to get with the elf? The first is going to be +2 to dexterity. The next is going to be +2 to intelligence, and then you're going to take a -2 to your constitution score, and you'll have a base hit point of 4. So there's some pretty good choices that you could take for classes with a +2 intelligence and a +2 dexterity. Now, you could go with the soldier, and the soldier would be good for like a ranged type of fighter. Even though you don't get a strength bonus, you won't have to worry about it, because if you're not going to go with the melee, the dex is definitely going to help you. It's also going to help you with any kind of defenses, and the intelligence is going to help you with your skill ranks. And the -2 wouldn't be as good for a soldier as normal, but, and especially with its 4 hit points, and it doesn't have a lot of hit points, say, as the dwarf or maybe the Vesk, but you could go with a constitution bounty hunter or spacefarer to give you back a little bit more of that constitution. So another good choice for your elf would be an operative. You need to take advantage of that +2 natural dex. So that is going to help you with your ranged attacks. It's also going to help you with your dexterity-based skill checks like acrobatics, sleight of hand, and stealth. The intelligence is actually going to help you with your skill check ranks. And the con, it won't help you too much, especially with your 4 hit points, but you can go with like the Spacefarer or maybe the Bounty Hunter theme to give you back a little bit more of those hit points that you would be losing. Now, if you need a little bit more dex, you can go with an Ace Pilot or maybe a Outlaw. And if you want a little bit more strength, maybe you want to go with some melee weapons, then go ahead and go with the Mercenary theme. So another great choice for your elf would definitely be the Mechanic. The Mechanic is going to benefit from both your intelligence and your dexterity bonuses. So the dexterity is obviously going to help you with your ranged weapons. It's also going to help you with your defenses and any kind of dex-based checks. The intelligence is going to help you with your mechanical tricks. It's going to help you with all of your different science skills, and it's going to give you more skill ranks. Now, if you want a little bit more hit points, once again, go with the Spacefarer for Constitution theme. If you need a little bit more dexterity, go with the Ace Pilot or the Outlaw. If you need a little bit more intelligence, go with the Scholar. And one final other class that would be good to go with an elf would be the Technomancer. Both the dexterity and the intelligence are going to help you there as well. So your dexterity is going to help you with your defenses, seeing that as a Technomancer, you're not going to be wearing any kind of heavy armor unless you go the feat route to take heavy armors. Then the intelligence, it's going to help you with your spell attack bonus. It's going to help you with your saving throw DC. It's also going to help you with the total amount of spells known for bonuses. It's going to help you with your skill ranks. And even though your constitution is going to hamper you a little bit, you can kind of offset that a little bit by going with the Bounty Hunter or the Spacefarer theme. And if you want a little bit more intelligence, go with the Scholar. And if you want a little bit more dexterity for those defenses, then go with the Ace Pilot or the Outlaw. Now, the last piece of advice that I can give you is this. Don't worry about min-maxing. If you want to play a strength-based soldier, then play it. If you want to play a charisma-based envoy, play it. You're not going to have a broken character if you do not have a +2 bonus to that primary ability score for the class that you want to play. Every 5 levels, you are going to get improved ability scores anyway, so that's not going to matter and you'll make up for it. Just play the character that you're going to have the most fun playing. So what kind of racial features are you going to get as an elf starting at level 1? Well, the first thing, you're going to be considered a medium-sized creature, and your speed will be 30 feet of movement per round. So the next racial feature that you'll get is called Elven Immunities. This is where you, as an elf, are immune to all types of magical sleep effects. Also, Elven Immunities is going to give you a +2 permanent racial bonus to any kind of saving throw versus an enchantment spell and its effects. And a couple examples of enchantment spells would be Charm Person or Command. So your next racial feature is called Elven Magic. This is where you're going to get a permanent +2 racial bonus to add to your caster level checks to overcome spell resistance. Now this is going to especially be good for playing a Technomancer, and you can read more about resistance on page 265 in the Starfinder core rulebook. Also, Elven Magic is also going to give you another small perk, and this small perk is going to be a +2 permanent racial bonus for any time you need to do a mysticism skill check. Your next racial feature is called Keen Senses. This is where you're going to get a +2 permanent racial bonus to any type of perception check that you make. And lastly, you're going to get low light vision. This is where whenever you're in any kind of dim light, you'll be able to see as if it were daylight. And you can go to page 261 in the Starfinder core rulebook to read up more on low light vision. So there we are, everybody. That is the Elf Legacy race from the Starfinder core rulebook. Now down in the comments section below, I want to know what you think of the Elf race. Do you like it or do you not like it? And what class and theme would you choose for your elf? I want to know. Now, if you like this video, and I hope you did, please do me a huge favor and give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And you can check out all of my other Starfinder, D&D 5e, and Fantasy Grounds videos here on my YouTube channel. Once again, everybody, my name is David, the Digital Dungeon Master, and until next time, happy gaming and stay safe.